If you guys like the VICTIS crew, if you guys want Tranzit in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, this is going to be a very exciting video because we're going to be taking a deep dive into the VICTIS crew returning into Black Ops Cold War Zombies, what their role is in this game, the leaked information that we have for the VICTIS crew coming, especially with the Tranzit Remake being leaked out as well, some Easter eggs that may have teased it, a lot of stuff here, the actual storyline reasons for why the VICTIS crew is still alive, they're in the Dark Ether, and they actually might want revenge on Richtofen, in this case, Eddie in the Black Ops Cold War storyline. So a lot of really sick stuff to go through here. Really quickly, I want to thank you guys. 900 likes on yesterday's video. If we can go for 900 likes again, that would be really sick. And we're also 155 subs away from 61k. So we're smashing these goals like there's no tomorrow. So I appreciate the support, guys, so much. It really does mean a lot. Shout out to the members as always. And let's start off here first with a new leak here, an update on what we were talking about yesterday. So we talked about Shino Numa, Darice, and Kino being remade and brought into Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Definitely a really important video, so that will be linked at the top of the description down below. We had leaks for those maps in the alpha of Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and we also had the songs, the Easter egg songs for those maps found in the game files of Cold War Zombies itself. Now, usually with past Treyarch games, we have 4 main DLC Zombies maps. What we talked about yesterday, we only had 3. The Shino Numa remake, the Darice remake, and the Kino Toten remake. But there actually was another Easter egg song found in the Cold War game files, and guess what it's from? It's from Tranzit. It's Carry On from Tranzit, found in the Black Ops Cold War files. And again, this is just so fitting because all of these maps, Tranzit, Kino, Darice, and Shino, especially if you relate it to the Vietnam Zombies map, they were all leaked previously from the alpha files, the pre-alpha files of Black Ops Cold War Zombies. The Tranzit leaks we've known about forever. The Tranzit remake was supposed to come in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Obviously, they held off on that because Treyarch had to work on Black Ops Cold War, and TGR, the Game Revolution, his sources were sending him a bunch of information, a bunch of teases that Tranzit would be implemented, brought into Black Ops Cold War Zombies at some point. So we've known about these Tranzit remake leaks for a very long time now. Now we actually have something in Black Ops Cold War Zombies itself. I think this is a perfect setup for the next DLC zombie maps, and I would say the Tranzit remake would probably be one of the last maps in the game. And later on in this video, we're really going to go in depth as to how the VICTIS crew is going to play a major role in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, presumably on the Tranzit remake map, especially in this game. So that is a really cool update to the leak here. I obviously talked about yesterday, I don't mind the remakes being added to the game if the remakes are done like Die Maschine. Nocturne Toten is a small part of Die Maschine, and a majority of Die Maschine is a new map, new setting, new location, new room. A very small part of it is the remake. With Tranzit, I honestly don't mind Tranzit being entirely what it was back in Black Ops 2. That is the one map I definitely want them to go all in on, really remake Tranzit, make it such a good map with modern day technology that they have with next gen consoles and the PC, and they have the Cold War mechanics, and there's just so much stuff that we talked about a couple of days ago. They had so many insane ideas for Tranzit, different game modes, bus route B, different mechanics that they just couldn't do because of limitations back in 2012 when they made Tranzit, that they could very well do now for a Cold War Zombies DLC map. But let's move on here to the VICTIS crew and what role they're going to play in this storyline, especially within the Tranzit remake. So there are a bunch of different Easter eggs that people are talking about. We're going to look back at Nocturne Toten as well, the ending of the Ether storyline, how that makes sense. But let's look at a little Easter egg here that a couple of people are talking about, found in Die Maschine itself. Phantom Ice made a video talking about this. I think DK Dynamite also made a video as well. There are voices, souls trapped in the Dark Ether, and they're actually heard by playing Dark Ether voices in reverse. So listen to this clip. It's really eerie, and it could potentially give us a pretty good teaser as to what's going to be happening in the upcoming DLC maps for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now we know at the end of Tag Der Toten, the end of Black Ops 4 Zombies, when the Ether storyline ended, everything was sent over to the Dark Ether. The characters, the maps, Element 115, everything was banished, sent to the Dark Ether. Now, as you heard in the clip, these voices, these souls in the Dark Ether, are kind of mad that someone lied to them. Someone is a liar. And who lied to someone or a group of people back in the Ether storyline time and time again? It was Richtofen, and more specifically, Richtofen, a bunch of different people lied to the VICTIS crew over and over and over again. So a lot of cool stuff here to go through. Dalek did talk a little bit about this back in October, so definitely shout out to him. But from the comics, the Treyarch Zombies comics, they actually give a bit of insight as to what happened. So Zombie Richtofen, a zombie version of Richtofen, sent the VICTIS crew on a quest. And at the end of that quest, Primus Richtofen actually gives them the option to either die or be frozen in cryostasis until the final world arrives. So they were already shafted there. And then at the end of Black Ops 4, the VICTIS crew is reawakened from cryostasis. And then they're sent on a mission to acquire a certain device for Nikolai. And then they're betrayed again. And here's the clip from Tag Der Toten of the VICTIS crew in shock that they were lied to and betrayed again.
What are you talking about? We found the Agarthan device!
I know. And I'm so sorry.
Now, these voices heard in reverse in Die Maschine don't exactly sound like the VICTIS crew, but think about what the Dark Ether does to anything that is in it. It corrupts everything. This VICTIS crew is, they're alive in the Dark Ether. Their souls are there, but they could be morphed into a whole Dark Ether version of themselves. And I really do think that the VICTIS crew will be some sort of evil entity, almost a villain that we will eventually have to fight against in Black Ops Cold War Zombies because of them being corrupted by the Dark Ether. The VICTIS crew also probably wants revenge after being betrayed to so many times back in the Ether storyline, and now that this evil force, the Dark Ether, is corrupting them, it will make the VICTIS crew move forward with those evil revenge intentions that they may have, and obviously they would go after Eddie in this version of the Dark Ether storyline. We have not seen anything about Eddie yet in this game, so very interesting lining up here. Samantha and Eddie obviously walked into this new world at the end of the Tag Der Toten cutscene, the end of the Ether storyline. Those two characters will play a huge role in this game. We've seen Samantha. We still don't know what Eddie is doing in this storyline here. So it's going to be really cool to see how he is introduced and if this dynamic, Eddie versus, the VICTIS crew, the evil VICTIS crew that wants revenge, how that dynamic is going to play out and develop throughout the rest of the Black Ops Cold War Zombies storyline. I just have to add this here because this gives us more confirmation that the VICTIS crew is alive in the Dark Ether. There is a radio from Classified, the 5 remake in Black Ops 4 Zombies, that has Stuhlinger actually talking and saying that they're alive and we're in this dark place and they don't know what to do, and all the Richtofens didn't tell them what to do in the Dark Ether. It's a really funny clip, but it really shows us that they really are in the Dark Ether most likely. They don't know what's going on, and probably after being in the Dark Ether for so many years since the ending of the Ether storyline, they're slowly becoming corrupt. And again, we'll talk more about how that's going to relate back with the Tranzit Remake in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. So here is the clip.
Hello? Is this thing on? Richtofen! Hey, Richtofen! You've been gone from my head a really long time. I gotta be honest, I'm freaking out a bit, man. It's so quiet. I can actually hear myself think. You know what that's like? It's not nice at all. So, listen, buddy, old pal, we gotta talk. You sent us here, of all places, but you forgot to tell us what to do. It's dark, it's damp, it's just really filthy. I think the roaches are crawling with roaches. How is that even possible? Wait, shoot. Am I even talking to the right Richtofen? Oh, you could be the other one, right? Or the other one. Yeah, you know what? Just go talk to your Richtofen pals at the hoity-toity Ricky Gang Clubhouse and find out what the we're supposed to be doing.
I find it super fascinating that there's so much evidence, so many different Easter eggs, storyline quotes about the Victis crew, and how it really is so possible to see them in the Black Ops Cold War Zombies storyline. I personally think they are going to be an evil force based on what I talked about. Maybe they will just be a part of the storyline, but not a significant part. Maybe they'll be friendly. We really don't know yet, but I feel like what we're getting here is that they want revenge. They're being corrupted by the Dark Ether, and they are going to be an evil force in the game, but we'll just have to wait and see. And the Tranzit Remake makes perfect sense to really implement these characters into the game. Tranzit was obviously the first time we saw the Victis crew back at the beginning of Black Ops 2 Zombies, and it would be really sick to see them brought into the game. I don't want to talk too much about playable characters because I talked about playable characters in my recent video a couple of days ago, if the Victis crew would be added as playable characters. In this video, I'm really more talking about the storyline implications and how the Victis crew can return into the game just as storyline figures. I think if they add the Victis crew as operators in the game, it would be pretty cool, but I really want them to focus on the storyline, develop the Victis crew, make them this evil force, because I feel like that would be so much more cool than just plainly seeing the Victis crew as operators and then there's just nothing else about them. I wouldn't really want them to just be operators and then they have a couple funny quotes and then that's that. I would love to see the Victis crew really play a huge role, and the Tranzit Remake that we could hypothetically see at the end of Black Ops Cold War Zombies as the final DLC map, we could maybe fight the Dark Ether corrupted version of the Victis crew. So leave your theories, your ideas down below. This video is not over. I still want to talk about a bunch of stuff with a Tranzit Remake in the game, but I want to get your guys' opinions on the Victis crew. What role do you think they could play in this Zombies game? Do you like my evil idea? Based on the quotes that we've seen, the teasers, the end of Tag Der Toten, them getting revenge against Eddie in this game, I think it could line up pretty cool, pretty perfectly in this game, but again, we'll have to see. It's way too early to tell. I do think it's very possible, though. Now let's talk about a Tranzit Remake in this game. I've been really liking the idea recently of Tranzit being the last Zombies map, the last DLC Zombies map in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I say that because of all of the storyline stuff I talked about in this video before, but also because Tranzit being the last map would be one of the biggest redemption story arcs of a Zombies map of anything in all time, honestly. Tranzit being one of the most hated Zombies map, them bringing it back as the final DLC map in a Treyarch Zombies game and making it one of the best Zombies map of all time would be so insanely cool to see. There are a couple of different ways in which they could bring a Tranzit Remake to the game, and since I've been talking about a bunch of remakes returning to Black Ops Cold War Zombies, we talked about Shino, talked about Derice, Kino Der Toten, and I made sure I said that I want these remakes in the game, and I think most likely they would do what they did with Die Maschine. Small portion of the map is the remake, a majority of the map is the new map. But with Tranzit, they could do a bunch of different things. If Tranzit is remade, I could see them bringing the bus depot and town and maybe diner as well as the remade portions of the Tranzit Remake in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I could see them scrapping the power area and farm. Honestly, they could add a lot of other new locations as new elements of the Tranzit Remake in Black Ops Cold War Zombies, but still keep it within the same sort of setting. They could add Bus Route B and add new buildings, new towns, new scenery, and it would really be a new map, and that's honestly what I want a Tranzit Remake to be. Keep in mind, I don't want, when I talk about a Tranzit Remake, I don't want the same exact map to return, because Tranzit in Black Ops 2 wasn't the best map. The mechanics weren't that good. I definitely don't want to see that map remastered. I want it completely remade, completely revamped. I just love the vibes of Tranzit, and I think that they could have done so much more. And we talked about this. they wanted to do so much more with Transit and Black Ops 2. If they brought those features over into the game, they could really make a perfect map. So again, I really hope they put a lot of thought into Transit. I hope it's not just a random map and then they just throw Bus Depot into it. You know what I mean? Because that really isn't a Transit remake. Throwing Bus Depot into the map and then the rest of the map is just like a random setting really wouldn't make sense, and it would honestly do a disservice to a Transit remake. A Transit remake could be, again, one of the best maps of all time if they add in all of these different features, all of the features that they wanted to add in Black Ops 2, all the features that we've been talking about in these theory videos, these leak videos. They could make an insanely cool map. I just hope there's effort put into it, and I hope it really does become one of the best and well-crafted maps, and there's a huge redemption story arc for Transit returning to the game and really being an insanely good map, not just Bus Depot or town survival being added into the map, and then the rest of the map is just a random setting that has nothing to do with Transit itself. But again, way too early to tell. That's just my hopes of this game and of a Transit remake. So leave your comments down below. What do you want to see a part of a Transit remake in the game? Leave a comment below. Transit, if you watch the whole video, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for the support again. My channel has been doing insanely well. It's all thanks to you guys. I can't thank you guys enough. We're going to be grinding a lot of stuff to talk about here with Black Ops Cold War Zombies, so I appreciate you guys watching and joining me along this journey. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.